right. That seemed to work.
We
We
are
should be
live.
live. Yes, we are. All
Awesome.
right. Welcome back to another stream, everybody. It is a nice Wednesday night or morning, depending where in the world you are. But today, I have another very special guest punching above my weight class yet again. Mr. Cody from Mac Telecom Networks is here to join me and
Yes,
talk about
thank
all
you.
kinds of things network. So, if you don't know Cody, you should, but I will let him introduce himself to you guys in case you don't.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on. I am Cody from Mac Telecom Networks. You probably know me mostly for Ubiquiti stuff because that's like 98% of my channel. We do a lot of Wi-Fi. I do network install videos. Those are probably my favorite, and I think they're other people's favorite as well. Getting more into Wi-Fi testing tools, structured cabling, things like that. And my channel's been around probably 3-ish years now, maybe just a bit over, something like that. That's
So
the
we're
basis of my channel is network stuff, right? I do some Synology NAS stuff, but that's, I leave that to the professionals to do that type of stuff like you guys.
so I guess our channels are pretty similar in age then. So you're about 3 years. I think I started mine in, yeah, so I think it was like 2020.
Oh, really?
So,
I
yeah,
think I'm around there, and I was posting so many videos, like I
yeah,
think I'm up past 700 now.
yeah,
That includes live streams as well, and I do that every week. Yeah.
that's, I haven't checked. Last time I checked was a while ago and I'd hit over 100. I was like, damn, I have over 100
That's a
videos.
lot.
That's,
Cody is that
yeah, I was,
robot guy. Yes, Cody is that robot guy. That's for sure.
yeah, who we got in chat? We got Stefano, of course, here to troll us in chat. Wouldn't expect anything less. Matt Roberts, welcome morning. So you must not be here in North America like us two. Lee, welcome. Timothy, good evening. Jay, Jason, what's up? Abraham, yo, David, what is up, everybody? Matt Sargent, there he is. Vlad, welcome. Tyler, what's up, dude? Update your smartphone. Okay, I will, I guess. Kilnai, what is up? Tom, yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, we're just gonna hang out, talk networking. Like Cody said, he's the Ubiquiti guy, and
For
honestly,
sure.
a lot of your videos actually is what steered me to transform my network into
Ubiquity.
yeah, because
Yeah, I mean, I do a modest stuff as well, and
right.
it's not good. It's great for homes, but I use more. I mean, I'm using Ubiquiti every day in business life, so that's what I use in my house, and I mean, they both have positives and negatives to them. Like
Well,
we were
I'd
talking about
heard
last night.
yeah, I'd heard so much about Ubiquiti, and this was when I was like building up I had everybody starts from your basic, you have a basic switch and like a Linksys router,
Yeah,
and then you kind of build up, and I had this like hodgepodge of random networking gear. I had like a QNAP switch, a Linksys router, like a Netgear access point, like,
yep.
and then I was like, I need something cohesive. And then anytime
Ubiquiti is
you,
just easy. I mean,
it is,
anybody could get into it and learn basic networking concepts, or even if you don't know anything about it, it can be plug and play, but then
uh
it could be complex. I know a lot of people don't think could be complex like pfSense, but it could do, since their Unify OS 3.0 update, like it could do quite a bit, almost as much as pfSense. I probably shouldn't say that. I'm gonna get myself in trouble with some people in chat,
so
but
you're gonna get some angry comments there.
yeah, but I mean, it's almost on par. The thing with pfSense is the packages that you can download to, make it more robust if you want. But for I don't know, $400 firewall, it could do quite a lot.
And I mean, I feel like pfSense and like a Unify Gateway, they're kind of different. They're so much different when in terms of like, if you want something, I'm not gonna say easy, but when you pull up the Unify, like the configuration and
Yeah,
their networking software, it just looks nice. Like you can get information from it so easy. It's easy to click around and navigate and just do basic stuff.
exactly.
pfSense is not that.
No, no, no.
pfSense requires you have to be interested in doing networking stuff.
They
to,
have a lot of features, like all their debugging tools are great. You know, it does expand quite a bit more, especially with logging, like firewall logging, firewall rule logging, all that type of stuff. It does a ton more than Ubiquiti could. But you can always offload that, use syslog servers and stuff like that. But
yeah.
since we do install occasionally for clients in their businesses, if they require, for instance, high availability, because Ubiquiti doesn't offer that quite yet, which hopefully
Yeah.
will be coming soon.
Yeah. So Mac Telecom Networks, not only is that the name of your channel, but you have a business, correct? Like that is what
That
you.
is my business. So it started. So I used to work for Enterprise Banking. If anybody, I don't know. I guess I could say the name of the bank. It doesn't matter. I used to work for TD Bank in Canada. I started off doing like network analysis for them in like an operating center. Moved up to data center engineering, and then after that, I did compute engineering, building Cisco UCS clusters for VMware and stuff like that, which was really interesting. I was more so on the side of designing all the hardware and the fiber optics between. And then at that time, I always wanted to start a business. My grandfather did one, my uncle did one, and I'm like, you know what? Now's a good time. So I started the YouTube channel. And it is extremely hard to get clients. If you don't have a good marketing team, like you're not getting any clients because there's 6,000 people out there who are trying to do the same job. So once I started the YouTube channel, people started asking me to hire for work. I'm like, oh, this is great. So then I started incorporating, you know, hire me or whatever. And
Yeah.
it grew from there. After, I think, 2 years, I was doing it full time. So it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. And what? So you primarily deploy Ubiquiti stuff like on your or like people come to you. So what exactly do you like? Someone comes to you and says, "Hey, I need a brand new network for my business," or
Yep.
I need a full setup. Do you come to them and say, "I'm deploying like Ubiquiti here. Like that's what I do," or do you give them like options? You say, "Well, I could do this, I could do that," or you just kind of like,
So a lot of the times people, one, they have a budget, and then two, they see me off of YouTube and they're already interested in Ubiquiti, so they make it easy. They say, we want this, 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 and this. You tell us how many access points we need, switches, blah, blah, blah. I'll give them my recommendations. If they want high availability, then we'll go with something else. Other than that, I do all the structured cabling, security cameras, some access control, not a lot. Trying to think what else we do. We'll do server build outs, but I usually offload that to somebody else who's more knowledgeable. I don't do a whole lot of that. I'm not an MSP. So we build up the network, and then we hand it off, and that's pretty much it.
okay,
Yeah.
cool. So I guess let's see people in chat. We have someone from Sydney, Australia here, Alien Snatcher. That's
a
trying to
name.
yeah, I'm trying to think if I've had anybody in the chat. I've had people from all over the world, surprisingly. I'm trying to remember if I've had anyone from Australia. You may be the first, so congratulations. Welcome. Let's see. I still think that pfSense has a much easier use than other firewalls. I tried using Palo Alto, and it's loaded. I was very intimidated when I first tried using pfSense because I'm very new to this whole home lab and networking thing. Just because I'm on cameras talking about things does not mean like I'm an expert and I've been doing this for like a billion years like some other people.
Yep.
So like my first forte into like a real network was with an SG 1100 running pfSense, and opening that up when you're coming from like just basic managed switches and like a regular just off the counter or
Off the shelf.
off the shelf router. Yeah.
Or router. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was intimidating. So I
It
relied
is.
heavily on Tom Lawrence videos to
He does
help get me going
he
with
does a
that.
great job. That's where so I started off with the SG 1100 when I first started getting into pfSense as well. I did virtualize it. This was going back a long time.
Yeah.
The one thing with pfSense, they don't release a ton of firmware updates, which is a good thing. So they'll bundle all their firmware, over 6 months and then release it. Whereas some other vendors, Ubiquiti, will release new firmware every other week, and then you have GUI changes, which I don't mind because I'm working on that stuff all day. But somebody who doesn't work in it is going to be completely confused.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of what I was getting at with like when you first are introduced to like a Unify setup, like Unify networking, it's so much less intimidating hopping in there.
Oh yeah.
Similar to Amada, and I think I mean, that's how they're designed, and
Well,
that's how they're
Cisco tried to
marketed.
do it too. So I was David Bombal got in touch with me, and I don't know, we were talking about Cisco stuff, and he ended up getting me in contact with Cisco. This is their small business side, not their Meraki stuff. They ended up sending it to me. It is just they're trying to do Ubiquity stuff, and they cannot do it. I don't know why they can't get somebody to design a GUI for them, because it
Yeah,
is brutal. I won't review it because it's that bad. It's
man.
just terrible.
As someone who does web development as their main job, I am very open with saying I'm not a front end guy. Any front end stuff I have to do for development, I do the most basic stuff. I find like a template to slap on top of it and call it a day.
Oh yeah,
I'm not a
I
front
couldn't
end
do it.
guy.
I could not do that
Uh,
at all. And
and
respect to everybody who does.
it's just amazing. Like the you see it like a large company come out with like an app or like a website and it just looks like absolute hot dog water. And then you see just like a passion project from one dude and it's like the most amazing thing ever. And I'm like,
Oh
how
yeah,
come
I
how
don't
can these
understand it.
large companies not just like how can they not figure this out? Like
Yeah,
I
I mean, our Cisco's Meraki, their interface is great. But like if they're trying to compete with like a Unify competitor, and they're trying to do this smaller end, because Meraki's more. I mean, they do coffee shops and stuff as well, but they're heavily subscription based. Whereas this other model wasn't subscription based, so they're trying to go to head with Ubiquity, but it's almost not usable. That's how terrible it is.
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you could go in the command line, but most people aren't going to do that now.
Yeah. And that's another thing. Like I feel like over the years it's gone from if you wanted to deploy like a sophisticated network, and when I say sophisticated, I mean like something other than just your house. I feel like with Unify, Omada, just recently reviewing this Ingenious stuff, like they're putting a lot of effort into having it be a lot easier for people to
Oh
manage
yeah.
networks, like larger networks.
Yep. Yeah.
Because I know at my job, a lot of the networking stuff is done with, in the command line.
Oh
And
yeah.
because we don't
For
have
sure.
like anything
Well, in the banks,
fancy
like
like
that's all
that.
you use. They're using like leaf spine switches, and it's all like Cisco 9K. It's probably different now since I left, but it
Yeah.
is command line driven.
Yeah. I
Which
can't even
is,
imagine.
if you could learn the command line, it's a good thing. But there's literally tens of thousands of commands, so you're never going
Yeah.
to remember it all, right? So you're doing a ton of googling. I mean, that's part of all IT. Everybody's googling stuff. I do it every single day.
Yeah.
But it has changed a lot because when you're going into like Unify, you're pressing create a VLAN, and it's just writing it all on the back end for us, which is great.
Yeah. It it's definitely gotten easier. Well, in some cases, I know it at my company. I've seen some of the network engineers doing their things, and I'm like, yeah, no, that
No.
just looks like job security to me. Because
Well, and that's another thing. Like, well, it depends on what level they're at. Like, if they're Cisco CCIEs or whatever the heck they're using, they're probably pretty secure in their jobs. And when you're trying to be speed and efficient, like with the Cisco switches, you could just have it all configured in a notepad and copy and paste into other switches or routers or firewalls or whatever. So that does save a lot of time, but you need somebody specialized in that. Like, you're not going to have me going in there configuring a whole data center. Like, it's just not going to happen because you need 13 plus years of studying or however long the CCIE takes to be able to do stuff like that.
yeah, 100%. I have Tyler who says, collab, this is perfect. Y'all are both so wonderful, and this should be a great show. Hope you have both wonderful holiday shout outs and merch stores for reviewers. So, is this your burner account, Cody?
Me? No,
Yeah,
no, no.
you pay him to
No, no,
come in here
no.
and say that for
Nope,
us?
absolutely not.
Wow.
I don't know.
A genuine fan. I appreciate the kind words, Tyler.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So like I said, I was getting into upgrading my network, and I had heard about Unify, and anytime I Googled like Unify stuff, I saw Mac Telecom Networks video. So I'd seen a bunch of Mac Telecom Network stuff about Unify, and I was convinced. So I went and purchased a whole bunch of Unify stuff. I've upgraded it a bit over the last year or so. So I'm going to show you what I have, and I want an expert's opinion on my setup.
Perfect.
So
Let's
you think
take a look.
you want to take a look?
I'm just going to answer one question here, actually. Am I able to highlight stuff too, or is it just you?
You
me try.
You can try.
Okay,
Does it
so
let
it's just
you?
Marco. He brings up a good point. If you don't review bad products, how can we know why to? That's a decent point and suggestion there. It's the amount of time that I would have to put into the Cisco link, whatever that little small business thing they call it, whatever brand it is. I'd be having to put in so much time, and for me, business wise, I got to think about like views and stuff like that. So I think I will maybe eventually, but it will be like when I can't think of any other videos to do. And I'm going to bring up the fact, that I didn't like it. It's like when they did Cisco Meraki Go. I did a video on Cisco Meraki Go, and I hated it, and it was terrible. They didn't send me any of the gear. I bought all that gear, and I told them my thoughts how it is, and I've done that for. Ingenious sent me a Wi-Fi 6 outdoor AP, and I told them it was brutal. I wouldn't buy it. So
Yeah.
you do make a good point. That's excellent, for sure.
Yeah, I've had a couple of instances where I've had less than favorable reviews on my channel, and it's hard. We kind of talked about this the other day on our call about how companies will send you stuff, and you in the moment, like you want to like review it because it's something new, it's something fun.
Yeah.
And I think what happens is you get it and you realize that either A, it's not as exciting as you thought, or B, you're realizing that you have to learn a whole nother thing to do this video.
For sure.
It's something new to learn, and while I enjoy learning things, sometimes I'm just not
you run out of time
in the mood.
Like
Yeah, that.
and for you, like you work full time, and then you're doing YouTube as well. Like I work,
Yeah.
I work as much as I can, but I'm not working 8 hours every day. I
Right.
schedule different consulting calls throughout different times, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, let's take a look at that network.
Yeah, let's hop in. So here we are. This is my main network. So
Perfect. We are
I
Unified
have-
Cloud Key.
yep, I am running a Unify Cloud Key Plus.
Perfect.
Jeez. So we'll hop into the topology here. Do
Sure.
you want to look at topology, or do you want to look straight at the Unify devices
I
first?
think, if you want to show the viewers, you could do the topology. Unified devices will be easier for me to see the full view.
Okay,
but,
well,
yeah.
we'll hop in the topology. So I do have other networking gear in my system, but this is my main like backbone. This is my main network.
Yeah,
And
that's
you'll
a
notice
switch.
at the heart we have a USW Enterprise 24 PoE.
Love that
This
switch.
was the most expensive piece of gear
In the rack.
Yeah, well, not in the rack, but in the network.
true.
Probably
Yeah,
for
yeah.
all my networking gear. You'll notice there's no gateway because I'm using a SG4100, so I am running pfSense into Unify. I know that's not optimal if you're running full Unify. It's best to have a Dream Machine.
You know what?
Which
it's
I
not-
do.
It's just more. You know what? It's not optimal for is more of the analytical stuff. So it's not. It's going to skew some things like client lists and stuff like that. But I mean, if you are looking for a different type of firewall, pfSense and Ubiquiti meshed together is one of the best things.
Yeah, I actually do have a Dream Machine Pro. It's been sitting in a box in my office for probably 8 months.
You need to get that out. You should do a video on it.
I really do. I keep looking at it and I'm like, I need to just throw this in the rack and hook it up.
Well, you
And
could get rid of your cloud key. I mean, you could get rid of your PF box if you don't want to. Depending what you do with your PF like
so I'm in this limbo situation where I'm so used to PF I like it. I have everything configured in there. It works well. But I got an email the other day from AT&T, and they're like, "Hey, did you know you can get 5 gigabit fiber internet?" And I was like, "Damn, I don't need that at all, but I kind of want it."
Yep.
But the SG4100 does not have a 10 gigabit WAN port. It's just 1 gig.
Yeah.
So I need to upgrade. But the Dream Machine Pro does have 10 gig, right?
It does, but it only routes at like 3.5 if you're going to be using IDS, IPS, and some other of their functions. But like at my house, I have 3 gig by 3 gig, and I get full capacity 3
Okay.
gig. You just need to put an SFP module in. SFP
Right.
plus,
Yeah.
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 I test it out. If it doesn't cost you too much more to get the 5 gig, I mean, why not?
I think it's like, probably like $40 a month more. So I kind of want to do it,
Yeah.
but I'm being super lazy right now.
Oh,
But
yeah.
anyway, I'm running SG 4100.
Okay.
Stefano apparently has 5 gig, like a fancy
Yeah,
boy
but his
over here.
gets cut every other week.
Yeah,
so,
that
right?
is true, dude. So if you average out what your internet speeds are over the course of a month, you probably have like dial up.
Yeah,
Let's be
most
honest.
likely. Yeah.
Oh, Jeff's here. He skipped the MLS game. That's a good choice, Jeff. Either a pro sporting event or come watch two nerds talk about
Exactly.
Unify stuff. Yeah, you made the right decision here. Everyone knows it.
Absolutely.
Welcome. But yeah, so this is the heart of my system. I really like this switch.
Yeah.
Full 24 ports of PoE, 12 1 gig, 12 2.5 gig. Very solid switch.
Oh, it's awesome.
That's broken off into a couple of other things. So we'll start here at the bottom because this runs directly to an Enterprise 8 PoE over fiber. So we have a fiber connection, 10
Oh,
gig.
10 gig. Nice.
And that is because when I bought this house, all of the networking gear was already, all the rooms in the house were already Cat 5e and wired into like a bedroom closet. And I didn't want to move all that stuff to the garage where my networking rack was, or my entire server rack was. So I threw a Enterprise, this switch in there, the PoE,
Yep.
and connected all the rooms to that, and then have it kind of
for
a
sure.
backhaul to the main switch with a 10 gig fiber connection. So
Yeah, I love that switch. Those and same with the other one. The what was that other one you have? It's another 10 gig switch, right? Go up.
what the
Oh no,
this
no,
one?
that's not 10 gig. Sorry, that is a 1 gig in, and then no, it is
Yeah,
a 10
so-
gig switch, is it not?
yeah, this is the
yeah,
Flex
Flex
XG.
XG,
Yeah, so I'll explain those in a bit. We do have Mr. Trey, Bobby Flay himself, the man, the legend. He says, "Hi, Cody, big fan. Thanks for hanging out with this scrub." I agree 100%, Trey.
No worries.
I
Thank you for watching.
Like I
Appreciate
said,
it.
I'm punching above my weight class here, but
Oh,
I
no,
appreciate you.
You do.
very
I mean,
much, Trey.
everybody, yeah, like your videos are awesome. Your editing skills, I was saying this last night, are like crazy. Mine are stitched together cuts, terrible robot voice, whatever, but it is what it is. You actually put some, funny things in your videos, and it's entertaining, but you're also learning stuff at the same time. So we all
I
do
appreciate-
different things. If we were all the same in videos, it would be boring. Like it would suck.
Yeah, I've said that quite a bit. Like if everyone did the same thing on YouTube, yeah, it would be super boring. Like everyone does something a little different. And you said you were a DaVinci Resolve. Did I catch that? You
Yeah,
use DaVinci
yeah.
Resolve
So
as
I
well?
start.
Okay.
Actually, I've always been with DaVinci Resolve, but like my editing is not like when I see Jeff's or I see you guys post some timelines of like your video editing. You have so many little cuts and different things. I have like one little video line cut together and that's it.
Yeah.
I have nothing else intermingling. That's it.
Hey, that makes it so much easier. Sometimes I wish like I didn't want to put so much effort into editing. I'm like, man, I wish I could just like, and that's where like sometimes I'm like, maybe I will get into like doing shorts, like doing short videos. But then I go to make one. I'm like, this is way harder than I thought it was going to be. So then I give up.
Yeah, true. Shorts could take off though, but it's a totally different audience. Like for me, if I did a short, doing network cabling or something like that, showing a network rack, 50% of those people, even if a couple they subscribe, after I start
Yeah.
releasing videos, they're gonna be like, why am I watching this guy? Like I just did it for this one short video. So it's a curse
Yeah.
sometimes for some channels, but I don't
sh-
post too many shorts anymore.
Shorts are they're the Wild West, man. Um, okay, so going from that switch, this kind of feeds everything like the pre-wired stuff in my house. So I have two in wall. They're just the Wi-Fi, the AC Wi-Fi, so
Yep.
Wi-Fi 5. Probably gonna upgrade those at some point eventually, but they work decently enough.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
feeds into the cloud key, and then a just regular Flex Mini or Switch Mini, whatever it's called.
Yeah, they change the names of them all the time.
Yeah, and yeah, that feeds kind of the rest of the house. Then yeah, you did see I have two Flex XGs.
Yeah, that's
So
crazy.
one is for my regular 10 gig. I have a couple of 10 gig devices in my rack.
Hmm.
So this feeds a couple of those. And this one is a new addition. I was going back and forth with the best way to do this, but I'm actually working on a new video where I'm deploying a Proxmox cluster, a high
Okay.
availability 3 server Proxmox cluster, and it uses Ceph. So this is a dedicated switch as a 10 gig Ceph networking
Oh, that's awesome.
switch. So they all have 10 gig to each other through this switch. That's why this is only 1 gig up because
You're using the rest of the ports?
I'm using 3 of the 10 gig and then one
Oh, yeah,
uplink
good one.
because the Ceph cluster doesn't really communicate with the rest of
Oh, gotcha,
the
gotcha.
network. They're just
Yeah.
there to communicate with each other. So that's why that's only 1 gig.
Well, the only thing you need now, you need an aggregation switch pro. And you'll be good.
Yeah, I was so
28,
close
10
to
gig
pulling the
port.
trigger on the Enterprise XG
Oh, yeah, yep,
20, the full 24 port 10 gig.
yeah.
Almost did it, but then I was like,
I don't think it has
that's
PoE
a lot of
though.
money.
If I was going to go that way, I would go with the aggregation switch. Because with the way your channel goes, you guys like, I see that you like bandwidth. So with the 25 gig ports, it would really help you out. And I think that switch is actually quite a bit more money than the aggregation switch. The other issue with the ag switch, though, you have to fill it with SFPs, which is going to cost you a bit of money
Right.
as well. So,
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
50
you kind
bucks
of
a
have to
pop.
weigh that out. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was the reason I wanted to go with the XG Enterprise, the 24 port 10 gig was because I wanted, this was before I went with this one for the Ceph cluster. I was like, okay, I need 3 for the Ceph cluster. I'm already using 4 on this Flex XG, so that's up to 7. And then I found out that the servers I'm using for my Proxmox cluster, I have 2 10 gig ports. One I'm using for Ceph, and the other I was like, I'll just run them to the 2.5 gig ports on my
Sure.
here, and I'll just have 2.5 uplink. That's perfectly
That's
fine.
fine. Yeah.
But it's
In the
not.
house, that's fine.
It's one of those 10 gig ports that doesn't communicate it. It's either 1 or 10. It doesn't
Oh, it
do
doesn't have
like
a
2.5
Yeah.
or 5. So I was like, shit. So I almost went with it just so I could have full 10 gig because at that point I'd have like 10 gig connections, and I was like,
yeah.
shit. So
Well, I'm sure eventually you'll upgrade your network switch. I mean,
yeah,
that's the
one
problem
day.
with, or I don't know if it's a problem, but when I ask people a bunch of times for home lab stuff pictures, like they'll tell me to show my rack. Mine, if I showed it right now, it's a complete disaster. Because every day or not every day, but when I'm doing new videos, I'm changing stuff around. I'm like, I'm not going to be working with these 6-inch little patch cables. I'm ripping her, and I have like 7-foot long patch cords on it. But when I do
Yeah.
the video, I don't. I have the little 6-inch patch cables.
Yeah, I gotta make it look nice. I
Absolutely.
Yeah, mine usually looks pretty nice, but right now, I'm doing the Ingenious video. I'm actually
Oh,
editing it
yeah.
right now, and I just have like the other gateway kind of like hanging off of a shelf with like a random cable wrapped around to it. It's not
People
pretty.
gotta understand that stuff. Somebody said, "Show us your rack," or Trey said that. I can't because I don't actually have any new pictures of it. I was thinking about putting a webcam on it, and then I'm like, I don't really care. I'm
I
just
ac
gonna look at it.
I actually have. So here's how do you know someone's a home labber if they have a Ceph cluster randomly on their network?
That is true.
Yeah, I that's my first. Well, that's my first implementation of Ceph, the little Zima boards. But I went with something uh, more hardware that's more usable with Ceph. So we'll see how this eventually goes. But here, I'll show you my camera feed for my
Network rack.
server rack.
Oh, nice.
So I have. Let's see, can we?
Oh, there we go.
This
Oh,
is how I
awesome.
monitor my temperatures in
Oh,
my
really?
server room. So you
I
see in
was
the
gonna.
corner, the
Yeah.
bottom corner, I have a little thermometer, and
Okay.
that's how I check the
That's awesome.
temperatures in my rack.
I was gonna put a little Ubiquity. They have those sensors, smart sensors. I was gonna put one. Mine's in my basement. It doesn't run that hot.
Yeah, mine either.
So I don't really care.
Yeah, I have a dedicated AC in there, and it keeps it cool, and even in
Yeah.
Texas summer, so it's 76 in there right now with 30% humidity, so we're golden.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, so um, let's see. So yeah, I got the Studio Pro. That's what I named it. The Pro
U6 Pro?
6
Yeah, those
U6.
are great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's sitting right there. I have another mini. I have the long range 6
Yeah,
Wi-Fi
they're good too.
6. I just put that outside because I didn't have an outdoor access point,
Okay.
and we have like a TV on the patio, and the connection's like garbage.
Garbage, yeah.
So, and that's like one of the first access points I bought, and I very quickly switched it to a
A Pro.
U6 Pro. Yeah. So
Did you
it
have
was
issues
literally
with it?
sitting there.
Oh, you
No,
switched it. Oh, gotcha.
yeah, yeah.
Because that is outdoor rated. I mean, their naming conventions on everything is a little weird too. Like the U6 mesh is what they're trying to push for people to use outdoor. It's that like Coke can style type thing. But those are awesome. The only problem with their long range, if you're like, say you're really far away from the access point, you could have an issue with Wi-Fi called near far, where you're going to
Yeah.
end up seeing the Wi-Fi signal, but you can't actually reach the AP because the chipset's in the client devices. But
Yeah.
my go-to right now is the U6 Pro. They work awesome.
Yeah. They just not just released. What's the Wi-Fi 6E one? They have a
Yeah, the Enterprise. So I have
Enterprise.
that's what I
Okay.
use. I use the Enterprise in this office, and then I have the in-wall Enterprise in my main floor. I need to put an access point in my backyard, but we're hardly out there anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
They're
I was
huge,
looking
though.
to.
They're huge. Like I mean, so the Enterprise one's probably comparable to the U6 LR, but the
Yeah.
in-wall is about double the size of your in-walls.
The freaking the U6 Pros are tiny compared to like other access points I've seen. Like
Yep.
TP-Link just sent me their Wi-Fi 6E access point. This
Yep.
thing is massive.
Oh,
And
I know. I don't know
it's
the
so
design
heavy.
behind it. Their design, I know SPX loves TP-Link, but their design on stuff is like, I couldn't put that into client's business. It's hideous. I know they did come out with smaller ones, and those smaller ones
That
look great.
I do have a small one sitting there, and it's much better. But then
Yeah.
they sent me this here. I'll grab it. It's literally sitting right
Love is
here.
a strong word. Yeah. I mean, okay, you'd like them. I like TP-Link stuff too. It's just like their Wi-Fi works pretty well, but like when you have a design like that and it's that thick off the wall, it's not going to work.
It's a big boy.
That's huge. And
Yeah.
it's not even like it's big
And
that
it's-
way, but it's big that way too.
Yeah. It's a thick boy. It's
That's
freaking
crazy.
heavy. When I first got, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Well, that's their 6E one.
Yeah. I still got to review it. The AXE 1100. This is like their top of the line model right now.
Oh my lord.
But yeah, it's freaking heavy, and I was gonna joke in the video like about how heavy it is and how I guess that doesn't really
Yeah.
matter because it's literally just sitting on the wall. So who really gives a
I
shit how
guess.
heavy it is?
Yeah.
But
I know people who won't put like I gave one I had one of their access points, it was Wi-Fi 6, but it was pretty much the same size. I gave it to a
yeah,
client of mine. I'm like, I'm not using this. And he brought it home. His wife wouldn't let him put it up because it was too big. Like, and it was just, not the aesthetically. Hopefully they get some better designs though. If it performs well, I mean that's different.
yeah, I haven't run it through the gambit, so we'll see. My Genius one performed pretty well. I just tested their 6E one,
Okay.
and I was getting peak in iPerf 3, 2 gigabit,
Oh wow.
and full test averaged out at like 1.7.
Oh, that's
like
awesome.
that's the fastest I've ever seen.
Oh,
And
it's
'cause
crazy. I mean, and most people houses, I get this all the time. They want the top of the line. People are they I had this client of mine, they put 6 enterprise access points in their house, which was like 2,500 square feet. Those access points aren't meant for our homes. They're meant for like stadium buildings, they're meant for high dense environments. And obviously we're all going to buy them because it's the latest and greatest technology.
right.
And then you have Wi-Fi 7, and then Wi-Fi 8, which Wi-Fi 7 is not even a true standard yet. People
Yeah.
are pushing it though.
Yeah, I think the big thing, and especially with Wi-Fi, is that there's so much like when they come out and say like Wi-Fi 6E, it's you can get 5,400 megabits per second.
It's marketing.
But there's so much marketing because that's if you have a 4x4 client, which
Yeah.
those don't
Rare.
exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's theoretical max, which you never hit with Wi-Fi.
Well,
That's
Ubiquity will say it, right? And then they'll say it's 5,400 megabits per second, and then they'll release an AP with a 2.5 gig interface. It's like, the math doesn't add up here. You can't go faster than wire speed.
yeah, and that it's like I guess if you want to try to get 4.8 gigs between two 4x4 clients directly through Wi-Fi, then
Yep.
maybe, but like no one's
No one's doing
that.
No, not at all. Not at
So
all.
I think so many people these days, say these days, it's marketing's always been kind of a thing. So I think I was gonna take this off because we're
Sure.
not really doing anything with it. When they come out and say speeds up to, they're saying with Wi-Fi 7 like speeds up to what, like 40 gigs or something. Like
Yeah, it's nuts.
that's not even
And
remotely what you're gonna see. Like
well, and people are trying to move their whole business model, and they just to Wi-Fi everything. I'm like, please don't, please, because it just you're gonna have not a lot of people design Wi-Fi properly, and then
Yeah.
you're just gonna have way more issues than not. Like you need a Wi-Fi designer in there. You need to do heat map scans. You got to validate your actual Wi-Fi designs, and people aren't doing that because you'll have a consulting company come in. They know nothing about Wi-Fi. They'll throw a couple access points up and you're good. And then you're having hundreds of clients connect to it, and there's co-channel interference and all that, boring stuff. But yeah, it's the marketing is gone nuts, especially for Wi-Fi 7. I don't know why they're even pushing it right now.
you can. It's hard enough to get Wi-Fi 6E clients, and now you're.
Well, yeah, like I bought this alien-looking computer just because it had a Wi-Fi 6E chipset in it, just to do testing. I bought another laptop with it as well, and then I have one other. I have a Wi-Fi mapping tool, and that has a 6E client in it as well. But nobody's using that. Like, really, I don't know who's using it right now.
It's if you're doing that's the thing. Like Wi-Fi can get so fast, but who is doing? I guess as files get larger and larger, video like people are taking more videos with their cameras, resolutions are getting higher, photos are getting larger megapixels, like just general storage. Files are just getting bigger. People need more storage, and if you need more storage, you're transferring it. You need more bandwidth. So I can see why increasing Wi-Fi speeds is useful because so many people have wireless devices.
Yeah, exactly.
But at a point, like if you're doing real work, you're using wired connection. Like at some
exactly.
point, Wi-Fi 7 advertising is 40 gig. Like who the hell is going to even
I mean,
Who
if
is that for?
you're doing that
Who's
back
that
to
for?
like network attached storage and stuff like that, 40 gigs, like or 40, 100 gig. You're
Yeah.
not doing
Could
that
you?
over Wi-Fi ever.
Yeah. Like, could you imagine like try just running a NAS wirelessly on Wi? I wish I could
Yeah,
try that. That would be such a funny video. Like
I'm sure
maybe if
you
uh,
put a wireless network adapter in it or something. I'm sure you could.
I would totally try that because literally yesterday, my last night after we had our call, my TP-Link rep reached out and was like, "Hey, so you still want to? We'll send you the Wi-Fi 7 router. You want to review it?" I was like, "I mean, if you send
Yeah.
me, I mean, yeah, but like I said, there's no
Oh yeah.
clients. Like
Yeah, that's
there's
true. Yeah,
no."
yeah,
So I
exactly.
was like, if you want to send me that phone that you said has Wi-Fi 7 capabilities, then sure. But I'm just thinking it would if there was like a PCIe like Wi-Fi 7 card, just throwing that in a server and just
I don't
running
think
that.
that will come out for a while. Like
No,
seeing as it's
it's
not a full on standard yet, like the
yeah.
manufacturers aren't going to be making it because they don't know if it's going to skip to Wi-Fi 8, right? And then that will be standardized under, and Wi-Fi 7 will never come available. So we'll see.
Here we go. Asus Stores hopped in here and said we support Wi-Fi on the NAS.
Is that
J-
really? Well, you should
j-
do a video on that.
just plug the Wi-Fi. Yeah, I know. I've seen a lot of NAS devices, especially because all of them. I've said this in all my NAS videos. Like those off-the-shelf devices are becoming less of like a pure NAS and more of like a server because of all the
Yeah,
capabilities they have built into them now.
like I have VMs
And
running on mine, and
yeah, it's
know.
crazy.
Oh yeah.
So they're getting so capable, and it's funny because I remember seeing that in when I was looking through documentation. It's like, oh, you have the USB port that you can use to expand your storage, or you can plug a Wi-Fi antenna into or a
Yeah,
Wi-Fi adapter. I'm like,
that's
that's
odd.
cool, but like,
I wonder how
why?
well it would work. I mean,
There's
it's
only
gonna
one way to
work.
find
Like,
out.
you should do a test. Do a wireless test and wired test. I think that would actually make for a really good video.
To see if there's actually if it's just like people being afraid of nothing if it actually
Yeah,
works.
that would be
I,
well, and
I
it all
th-
depends on your environment too.
that's what I was going to say. It's
Yeah.
so heavily dependent, and that's the difference, especially with Wi-Fi. Like there's so many variables when it comes to talking about building
Oh,
out a
for sure.
Wi-Fi system and doing things across Wi-Fi versus wired. It's like, yeah, I have a 10 gig card and a
Yep,
Cat 5e or Cat 6 cable, so
it's
I'm
gonna
getting
run.
10 gig. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah, like up
yeah,
in my office, I only run Cat 5e, and I'm getting 10 gig to my PC. People, I
yeah.
mean, you should be doing Cat 6 at least now in your house.
Hmm.
If you're in the UK, you're probably saying Cat 6. What is that? Go to Cat 7, go to Cat 6A. Or do you have shielded in your house or no?
No,
I
it,
don't
it
think
came pre-wired with
oh, okay.
5e,
I don't think like
and
North America, we haven't adopted the shielded stuff quite as much as the EU. They're all about, I don't even know if they,
Cat
yeah.
Cat 6a is shielded, right?
Well, you could get it shielded or unshielded.
Okay, because I bought a roll of Cat 6a and it's shielded, and
Oh,
dear God, that shit is a pain
oh, it's
to work
horrible.
with.
It's
Oh my
horrible.
God.
You need to look into vertical cable, like their Keystone crimper tools. So they
Yeah.
have Cat 6A shielded crimper. I don't
Hmm.
know how, like, do you terminate much?
I've
Like just the rack?
terminated. Yeah, I terminated a couple of runs in my old house with 6A, and then the runs I did here, I got Cat 5e, which was so much easier to work with.
Oh, yeah.
They weren't that long of runs, and they're only 2.5 gigs. So, but
Yeah.
I still have the Cat 6A there for if I need to run
Yeah, I
something
mean, if
more
you're not doing it
intense.
all the time, you probably don't want to buy that tool. But if you do use the shielded cabling, you do want to have shielded Keystone jacks with that as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're a pain. We quoted a job for all shielded cabling for a factory, and I ended up just not taking it because I'm like, it was like 400 cable runs. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I don't want to be on a scissor lift crimping that stuff all day long.
yeah. No thanks. I did
Yeah.
like one. I think I only did like 4 or 5 runs, and my fingers hurt. My
Hmm.
fingers hurt so
Honestly,
bad
you
from
have to
dealing with
get
that.
used to it. I forget what I just did. We just did the doctor's office. I posted a video on my channel.
Yeah.
And it was only about 90
Uh-oh.
cables. So you're doing that's 180 terminations because it's keystones on both ends. My fingers for the next week, I barely could feel them because I'm not doing cable terminations every day.
Yeah. it was brutal. My fingers hurt so bad. I was like, oh my god, is
There's
this
actually a
what?
couple tools you could, like if you're just doing it like into RJ45 ends, you could get something called the untwist tool, which you could untwist the cable pairs and it you could actually put it on. It looks like a pencil and it just unscrews your pairs for you instead of
Yeah,
using
I
your
mean, that
fingers.
that would be nice. I'll I've looked into various tools to make this easier, and every time I do it, I'm like, well, I'm not terminating very much anymore anyway. Like I pretty much run all the cables I need. Then like a couple months later, I'm freaking terminating cables. I'm like, shit, I should have
And
bought
that's what you
something.
should make a video on. You doing that. That stuff's entertaining to me too. I love watching people do like on well installs at their house or on site. I think it's the one thing that YouTube doesn't show too much of. One, it's difficult to film if you're doing it for businesses and stuff. But there was a YouTuber called Fiber Ninja. He was I don't know if you probably never heard of him. He went away a couple years ago. But his channel was great. He'd go into businesses and show you all the fiber and all that type stuff. And that's kind of what got me started in YouTube was to show people that type of work. But I mean,
Yeah,
not a lot of people let you film at their sites either.
yeah. I remember Tom Lawrence was saying something about that because he has a couple of videos about some job sites that he worked on. But I remember him saying that like, yeah, a lot of stuff is interesting, but it's hard when it's a client. Like, there's a
Yeah.
lot of things you just can't film, and it's just weird. Like, and you go there and you say like, hey, can I film this? A lot of them are not going to be comfortable, I imagine,
Oh,
with
exactly. Well,
you.
and I mean, it's hard. Like for me, when I'm going on site, now I'm just bringing a GoPro. I was bringing my DSLR, but like I have to get the job done. Now I'm filming. I don't charge the client per hour anyway. It's client or it's project based, so it doesn't matter to the client. But like
Yeah,
it takes hours out of my day just to film, set up the tripod and stuff like that. It's brutal.
yeah. Luckily, we kind of talked about this yesterday. Filming things is the barrier to entry is so much easier now. Like
Oh yeah.
with like the cell phone, the quality you can get out of this thing, the
Yep.
quality you can get out of a GoPro, the thing that tiny is absolutely insane. Compare
Oh
that
yeah.
to
The
like
GoPros are
10,
wicked. I don't know why
yeah,
I was bringing my DSLR because I was always worried, oh, I should film in 4K or shoot in 4K. I'm like,
yeah.
why? It's not going to
Nope.
look much better.
It's
It-
it's it's so annoying because I watch a lot of YouTube. Like YouTube is my main like the main platform I consume content on. And I watch so many different types of channels, and when I'm watching YouTube as just a consumer, I don't care if the quality is like amazing.
Yeah,
Like, sure,
neither
it's
do I.
nice to see a channel with really high quality. Like, yeah, it helps. But a lot of channels I watch are filmed with like a phone or just
Yeah.
like a regular camera and like decent audio. And as a YouTuber, as someone who makes videos and is like a camera nerd, I want all the good stuff. I'm
Yeah.
super like hyper focused on making sure the audio is good, like the quality's good, the video quality is good, like recording in 4K, like ProRes, color grading it in DaVinci, all this stuff. And half of me is like, yeah, I do this for fun because I actually enjoy doing it. But the other
Yeah.
half, I'm like, nobody cares. Like, honestly, it
I've
doesn't
never color
matter.
graded in my life. I wouldn't even know
It
where to
doesn't.
start, to be honest with you. But I mean, if it relaxes you or if it's your hobby, and I mean, I'm sure it does make your videos look better, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, quality's good. Like, it's good. It's nice to have good quality on your videos, but I think people put that up there like, oh, if I'm going to do YouTube, I need to have good quality because
No,
I
you
saw
just got to
this channel
start,
that had
like
good.
we said.
Yeah.
You just need honestly grab a GoPro or your phone, whatever, film everything. You're not gonna start seeing views first video. Like you're gonna get the only view by watching it yourself, and then I mean it will grow after that if you're consistent and stuff like that.
See,
Most
yeah,
people just fall off, and that's the thing. They'll be like, oh, I only got 800 subscribers or something like that, and a lot of people don't reach the 1,000 where you start getting monetization and all that stuff. So do
it's
it for fun. I mean, do it for fun, and then if something works out, it works out.
yeah. I mean, the first year my channel was, I was literally like, I would post a video, and I would go like on different computers to like let it run on there so that maybe it would help the algorithm
Yeah.
to and if I got like 50 views, I was like, oh my God, this is crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Like 30 other people watched this video. What? This is crazy.
Oh yeah.
And then I think there was eventually like one video I posted that got like 1,000 views, and I was like, what?
Oh, I know. It's a good like yeah, it's a great feeling. I think my first video that I felt like that was like I was terminating a Cat 5 Jack and it got to 500 views. I'm like, this could really be something. Like,
Yeah.
oh, 500 views.
Yeah,
The camera I'm
500
using
people
right
watched
now
it.
is the Elgato. It's just an Elgato face cam, I think. I only use this thing for live streams, but for filming, I use a Canon EOS 90D
Is
because
it
I
the
found it on sale.
Oh no, I got the Insta 360 one.
Yeah.
So I bought a fancy webcam to do my like before I got super busy with this baby. I had like a schedule. I was doing different types of videos where like I'd have a main video and then like a more tutorial, easier style video, and I wanted a decent webcam to do that with. So I bought the Insta 360 webcam, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, I've heard they're
It's-
good. I was using a Logitech Brio for a while, and then I was using like my first camera was the Logitech C920. I mean, for tutorial videos, no one's gonna care. You're in a little box or you know, a little circle, however your style you do it, and you're just showing your screen and that's it. But I'm still like, oh, I got to do it in 4K because I bought this,
Yeah.
you know, not even a very expensive DSLR. I'm like, I'm gonna shoot it in 4K.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm super like I have 4K camera.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use it. I'm posting in 4K. Like,
Oh,
it's
for
just
sure,
how
absolutely.
it's
Even
gonna
if it
be.
takes your render, you know, way longer to upload.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because I was before getting into YouTube, I was really big into computers and stuff, and I would always watch the big releases of the new CPUs and new graphics cards and see what the benchmarks are in games. But now I just care about how it renders video
Yeah.
and how it.
Yeah.
Because I don't play games anymore really.
What's your
And,
main machine that you render on? Or
it's,
like, are you using
it's
Mac?
no.
Oh,
I
okay.
have a Windows machine as my main workstation. It's a 13900K with a 4090, so
Oh, yeah, it's a beast.
it's a monster.
I have no
But
idea.
my
Computers hardware, that's something else. Like it's above my pay grade. I just bought that
you,
new Mac, Mac M2 Mini. I don't use it
mhm.
for any editing. I use it for some guitar stuff. I haven't even barely turned it on though yet.
So what do you're just full Mac across the board,
No, no,
or
no.
do you?
I have a Windows machine. I have no idea what
Okay,
I run. It's got an i9 something.
okay.
Yeah, I bought it
So it's
pre-built. I didn't build it.
fairly decent if it's an i9.
Yeah, I probably should have built it though, because I was gonna put a capture card in it, but you can't. You can't open it up. You'd have to bring it back to the vendor to get it done. It's like, oh crap. But if I upgrade, I'll just buy a new computer.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I don't know many people like. Did you build yours? I think
Yeah.
it takes too much time now. It doesn't take that long to build one, but I don't know. For me, I'm like, it will take me hours to get this thing put together.
Yeah, I mean, I'd been building them my whole life, really,
Oh,
so
okay,
it's
cool.
kind of what I've always built them. But I very much understand it's so much easier to just click
Mhm.
buy and have them send you a computer with the
Well,
specs that
I
you
could have
picked
got
out.
the capture card in here. There's water cooling in it. I'm like, I am not messing with this crap. Like I
Yeah,
will totally destroy it. I got the side panel off. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. We're done.
I
I'm
built
bringing the capture card back.
yeah, I built a water cooled system once. I don't think I'll ever do it again. If I
No,
do it
yeah.
again, it'll be with soft tubing. I did hardline. I think I'm done with that. It was
Guys,
fun
he
to do
just admitted
once.
that's fine. Yeah, I mean, who do I watch? Jay's Two Cents, who does all the, you know, he'll bring up viewer builds and stuff. I find those super fascinating, but I'm like, how do
Yeah.
you have the skill to do that? I guess it's like everything else. You do it enough and you have enough passion for it. Why not, right?
Yeah, it just becomes another hobby.
Oh yeah,
Some hobbies are nerdier than others, but
that's true.
a
That's true.
hobby nonetheless.
Exactly. Yeah.
I saw you you play guitar, right? I feel like I saw you post like a
Yeah.
Blink 182
Yeah, so I saw
cover.
Blink twice in last month.
Okay, I'm going to see him in July. I'm
It
pumped.
was amazing. It was the
Yeah,
best Blink concert. I've been to, I think that's like my sixth or seventh.
yeah.
And Tom never really sounds that good, but I don't know if
He's
he's even
entertaining
knowledgeable.
though. He's
Oh, he's
very
great.
entertaining.
And that's Blink though. And people who
Yeah,
don't understand that, like you're not real fans, right? So
yeah,
we had like extremely close seats. The first night we weren't too far back. Second night I was like third row, I think, or something like that. And it was
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. I'm pumped.
Oh,
We
you'll love
the
it.
last time I saw Tom was we went and saw Angels and Airwaves. They came to Houston, so we
Yeah, I
went and
seen
saw
them
it just
too.
for Tom.
Oh yeah.
And that dude's an entertainer, man.
Oh, he's
He's
and his whole alien thing. Obviously, I like
he is
Alien too,
wild.
but
He's
he's got something there. Like he's got something. He's done very well for himself, and this new Blink tour is hopefully their album's good. That's all I'm
yeah,
hoping for. That's actually Mark Hoppus's bass back there, that pink one. That's in
really.
yeah. So well, it's he released a
Or
bunch of
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Yeah,
Not his actual.
not
Yeah,
his actual one, but I've been waiting for that bass since I was like 12 years old, and then he released it. I'm like, I am definitely buying it.
nice.
Yeah. I don't play it,
Uh,
but it's just there.
yeah. Mark says, first time I put a PC together, took my stoner ass a good few hours to put it together. Lots of trial and error. Hey, a few hours.
Yeah,
Some
that's
people
all.
take a few days, dude.
Yeah, my
It's
buddy and I took a day and a half to build my one, and it wasn't even that complex.
some things are just like it's like me like some people like just cars like come naturally like they can fix a car like they open up the hood and they're like look at
Oh, did you just drop?
did the internet go out?
Oh, I think you're back. I could hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you.
It just like
Oh, you're
hello
good now.
hello.
Yeah. We're
Okay,
good.
all right, I don't know what happened there. Yeah, I was just saying like with cars like I open the hood I'm like I don't know what the hell I'm looking at and I feel like that's a lot of people with PCs like they're like what the hell is all this like
Oh
I
yeah.
don't understand any of this and like that just
I
it just makes sense to me so
yeah. I
I
can't
definitely get it.
I am not a car guy. I drive a crappy Hyundai Elantra 2016 that is, I've been using that as a work vehicle, so I throw ladders and boxes of cable and everything in there. I do need a work truck. I probably should get one shortly. But cars, I just could care less about.
Yeah. Let's see. If you got a couple minutes, we can take a look at some of these user submitted.
Yeah, let's
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, let's throw these on the screen and see what we got here. Let me see if I can zoom in. Is this gonna work?
All right, so let's kill
Okay.
my.
Yeah. So I saw this one before. So
Yeah.
this man has his priority straight. Most people, when you go in a closet, you find like clothes and stuff.
Yeah,
Not this guy, dude.
not this
So what do we
time.
have? Yeah. What do we? Oh, I can't. Why
He's
can't I zoom
got
in?
the. Oh god, I can't even tell. He's
How
got a 24
can
port ubiquity switch of some sort.
Can I do this? Can I zoom in now?
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
8 port up on the
Not-
shelf.
Can
At
I
least
not-
that's actually organized. You have a box saying video cables.
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
not-
Let's see. We have an
I don't
old.
roast. I don't roast people. It's
No,
it's all a learning experience, right?
So we have an old iMac. Man, I used to have an iMac.
Yeah.
Those were dope.
Yeah.
What do we have down here? So it looks like we got like a NAS or something.
UPS of some
UPS.
sort. UDM Pro.
What?
or SD.
How fast can you identify these Unify switches? Which ones are these?
Well, that's probably It's a USW 24. I don't. It's probably PoE. Actually, I can't tell by the lights if it's PoE or not. Yep. Well, now I can see Kill Knight post in chat. It's a 24 PoE. Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
24 and UDM Pro.
Yeah.
Okay. Got like a little
There's nothing.
monitor. I noticed up here, I have everything nicely labeled.
I'm-
Video cables, a bunch of hard drives neatly put away.
I'm
Like,
not that
it's-
organized. That's for sure. Oh, and then the cables coming through that little hole in the shelf.
Oh, I didn't even see it. Where? Oh, right here.
Wait,
Yeah.
there's Velcro on there.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah. If you didn't think we were going to zoom in and really enhance
Really,
on this,
he's got a
yeah.
G4 doorbell on the top.
Yeah, a
It's
bunch of
probably
other
just a box, I
monitors.
bet. Yeah.
Yeah, we got all the supplies. Old graphics cards. I'd be
Yeah.
curious to know how old
A modem
those
up
go
there.
back. Yeah, we got all kinds of goodies and treats in here.
That's awesome.
Solid setup. I know. Where's Mr. Jeff Geerling posted his
Yeah, I think
his
he's off
temporary
now to
setup at
watch
the
the
new.
Stogger, but
Yeah, I'm sure he posted his temporary setup at his new office for before and during construction. So he went with an open sense bare metal, one of those little router.
is that like a Protectly type thing? It
What,
probably-
this?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's the same case anyway.
Yeah, I know you can buy a crap ton, like if you go on Amazon or even like
yeah.
on AliExpress, there's
Oh,
just
that yeah,
billions
that's,
of different
oh, there's
like
tons of them.
router hardware
I mean, that's
for
not a bad
pfSense or
setup
OpenSense.
for
No,
a
I
new
mean I
office.
know a lot of, and it's better than just running a generic off the shelf router system. But yeah, using WireGuard for remote access, perfectly fine. Cheap Walmart Wi-Fi router,
Yeah.
which is probably fine considering he's still in the building process. I've watched his vlogs
I
doing
thought he was
that.
into Netgear stuff, if I remember from his videos.
He has
Netgear or Genius. I'm
he
pretty
has a
sure it was Netgear.
QNAP. He has a
Okay.
QNAP switch, and I can't remember. He might, yeah, it might be Netgear access
I
points.
thought it was Netgear. I've tried some of
Yeah.
the Netgear stuff. It's not bad. They had like Netgear Insight, and there was like a monthly subscription to it. That I didn't like that. I try to stay away from subscription fees.
I feel like I have a Netgear like 60 access point around here somewhere. I don't know why I have it. Did I do a video on that?
I don't know.
Shit, I don't remember. I
It's
think I
fine.
have one sitting around here somewhere though. Let's see, my vSAN.
Oh, that's
lab.
cool.
What am I looking at here?
I don't know.
So this is, are these mini? What is okay? I'm gonna be, maybe I'm really stupid, and I don't know what vSAN is. Like,
Isn't that like VMware's virtual storage?
is it?
I'm
I've
not.
never used.
When I did VMware stuff, I did hardware. I didn't do software stuff. But vSAN, I believe, is their storage system.
Okay, someone in the chat confirm that for us, please.
The Lenovo
yeah, but-
Tinies.
Okay, so these are okay, and it looks like okay, so I bet that's what he's doing. I bet these are like 2.5 gig adapters
Oh, okay.
connected to USB-C because I was considering doing the same thing with my Ceph cluster. I was debating between going with full like 1U servers versus 3 like mini PCs and using the USB-C port and using an adapter to get 2.5 gig out of that. And it looks like he has 2 in each one.
I wonder if
So
those
maybe-
adapters work well because I've used some of the adapters and I found they're very flaky, especially with like packet loss and stuff like that. They might have gotten better over the years, though. It's been a while since I've used them.
Okay, he's actually in the chat, so he can confirm. Yeah, 2.5 gigs. I actually have one that I use with my MacBook because when I edit videos, I do it all on my main PC, which has a 40 gig connection, so I can edit all my
wow.
footage gets offloaded to my NAS, and I just edit directly off my NAS over the
Okay.
network. And it's cool because then I can save the project in DaVinci, take my MacBook, go downstairs, sit on the couch. I can plug in my 2.5 gig adapter from the wall,
Yep.
and then just pick up editing on the couch.
That's what
Which
I
is
need
really
to
convenient.
do. I need to start doing that.
It's so convenient because sometimes I don't want to sit at my desk. I want to just hang out
Oh,
and
exactly.
just do like some editing, and it works well. So this 2.5 gig, I can't speak for all of them, but the ones I've used are pretty
Well, it's
solid.
got the enterprise switch. I wonder if that's
Oh, I didn't
the
even
10
notice.
gig one.
It's the Enterprise XG. Yeah, this
Okay,
is
so
the
that's
one.
the 10
This
gig
is
one.
yeah, that's the one that I almost bought.
Yeah, though I wanted to get one of those, but then I have no need for it. Honestly, it would have been a drop-in replacement for the one I have, but it has no PoE. So I'm like, I'm not even gonna bother.
Yeah, the annoying part is I kind of have a need for it because
Yeah.
I'm sometimes decent at like not buying things when I don't need it because I can tell myself, oh, you don't really need that.
Yeah.
But I could kind of get use out of it in my use case. So I feel like within the next like year, I'm gonna have one.
It's a business
it's-
write-off. If you,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's,
I-
did you ever watch Schitt's Creek?
No, I
it's-
watched a little bit of it, not much though.
And they're saying it's a write off.
It's
He's like, that doesn't mean that it's free. He's like,
No,
like
no.
who do you think pays for that? It's
That's
like, I
right,
don't
yeah.
know, the government.
That's how I thought it worked when I first started.
It's a write-off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's
Traden
actually
is.
that's a nice little setup there.
Yeah, no, I
Uh,
agree. It's
I
very
love
close to.
the monoprice patch cables too. The
Yeah,
boots
everyone
on the
has
end of
those.
those they're awesome. I think
It's
those are
because
monoprice. Maybe they aren't.
everyone has those. Cause I want to switch. I kind of want to put those in mine because they look so cool. Because like the clear with the light shining through, they
Yeah,
always
it's
look
awesome.
good. Who we have anyone else who submitted on Twitter? Let's see.
I don't know. Maybe
I don't
nobody
know if we
else
had
did.
any. I don't know if we. Okay, here's
There we go.
one. It's a
That's
clean
nice.
setup.
Yeah.
So we got the UPS at the bottom. We got a. I gotta do this again. Let's see. We got an No, that's a NVR, right?
No, so that the top one would be a UDM or UDM-SE. Then we have
Okay,
the aggregation switch.
that's the
It's their standard
aggregation.
one, which is
Okay,
awesome. It's like only $260.
okay.
Looks like he's using a Unify patch panel, and then
Mm-hmm.
a enterprise switch, and he has a
Okay.
PF Sense at the top. Confusing.
Where do you see PF Sense?
You're on it right now.
What
Yeah,
is
that little
this?
white box. I think that's a PF Sense. Maybe not. Maybe not.
No, I don't think it is. That's
It looks like the model, like a 6100. Oh, it might not be.
no, because the
No, I think
6100
I'm
has
wrong.
the.
It's the same as the 41, I think.
Yeah, it looks very similar to 4100.
Yeah. Okay.
And whatever this is, I'm out of my. I don't know what this is or this is at the top.
It actually one of
It
them
almost
could be
looks
the
like a.
modem. Could be a modem.
Oh, that'd be a. Yeah, that could be a modem. I don't know what this is.
I have no idea.
It looks nice. I'll give him that.
It's got his DAC cable
Ooh.
coming through. Yeah, no, that's good setup.
Let's see what's down here. It's a server, probably NAS, UPS,
Yeah.
Eaton.
Yeah.
Yeah, solid. Lots of room to expand.
Oh, for
I
sure.
have a freaking 42U rack that I thought I would never ever run out of room on.
And you have?
Somehow I'm closing. I'm getting less and less space. I'm like, how does this even happen?
I bought a
Like,
25U StarTech server rack, and I mean, I still haven't filled it up. I don't have any servers or anything like that, though. I use a Protectly as just like a, little, or I'm starting to as a Proxmox server, but that takes up no room at all.
we just got a submission here. Let's see.
Those look like Cisco UCS servers.
Resume, enhance.
No, maybe they're not. Sophos.
Sophos.
There's a YouTuber who does it. Christian? Is that Digital Life?
Digital Life.
I think he's big
He-
into
he-
Sophos.
That sounds familiar. Yeah. And then we got
there's
this
patch
is a
panel.
beefy switch, 48 port something.
It's a I can't even say the word not barcode. I can't even think of it.
You do better than me. I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Yeah, Cisco UCS. I think they are. That looks like the Cisco. Not the Cisco
definitely-
switch. Sorry, the servers at the bottom.
What are these?
Oh, Brocade. Yeah,
What is it?
I
Brocade.
think those are Cisco servers of some sort.
Christian
I don't
Lampa
know.
works for Sophos. Does he actually work for Sophos?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
That's why I like
was
them
there-
so much.
I was going to say, I'll have to
Well,
confirm that.
Hopefully they
So
give
what did
them
you
a tip.
What did you say these were? These look like.
I'm reading. Travis just put their Cisco C220 M4, so they're Cisco UCS.
Oh,
servers.
okay.
That's what I used.
Okay.
I didn't design them, but more of the rack build out for them.
Okay.
They're good.
So
they're
what-
good stuff.
What are they? Like, so Cisco does.
They have their own server brand for clustering.
I
and
didn't
stuff
even
like
know. I didn't even know Cisco did that. I
that. So
thought
we
they were just
would
purely.
stack into VMware clusters with all of the Cisco servers. Like the Banks
Interesting.
data center is pretty much
Uh-huh.
all Cisco servers. That's it.
Huh.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Learned something today. And then a little NAS something at the bottom. Is that a Synology? I can't tell. Like an older Synology? Something.
Yeah, it looks like it's a Dell R630. Oh, equal to Dell R630. Okay, gotcha.
What we got to confirm what's going on with the shelf. What's
Yeah,
what's going on with the what's going on with the shelf?
Probably had something on there before, and he's got a
it's-
couple of the faceplates off of the servers.
Yeah, it's in maintenance mode.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, those
Yeah,
small
no.
little cables. A lot of people now, I get asked probably more than anything on my channel, what are those cables? Where can I buy
Yeah.
them? What's the link for these cables? It's like,
Yeah.
It's hard to tell you where to buy them because I'm in Canada and everybody, like, I buy them somewhere right down the road from me.
We got a non-rack setup here,
Okay.
which is what I was running when I first started my YouTube channel. I didn't have a rack, so I was very much in this boat with you here. So let's see, we got a 3-piece, 2 PCs. Let's see. I'm trying to think what that's a Fractal. I've had this before. I've had this case. Can't remember the exact model. Don't remember what case this is. We got a super beefy,
For you.
yeah, for you full. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 4, 24 bay server down here. That's just begging to be put in a server rack. That's where we all end
Powered
up.
on
So,
its side.
yeah. I mean, it's
That's
fine, assuming
yeah.
you don't.
Move it around.
As long
too
as
much.
you, yeah, then you're good. Oh, he's got one of these freaking massive you see this thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Look at that
That's
thing is,
interesting.
I've seen this. This is freaking like 2-in-1. Dude, why do they make this so hard? I feel like I'm trying to do it in Photoshop, like hold
Oh,
space
yeah.
bar and drag.
I'm trying to
but
learn Photoshop right now. Oh my god, it's
It's,
overwhelming.
it's fun once you learn how to actually do things in it.
Yeah.
Thermaltake W200. What does one of those bad boys cost, dude? What's a Thermaltake? What is it, W200? Thing's freaking huge. 600s.
That's actually not. I was thinking it was going to cost more than that.
I paid like $500 for my 5U rack, so I can't even.
That's true.
Dude, this thing is freaking insane.
Yeah. That's huge.
Oh my god. Yeah, 2 systems. I mean, I guess it's got to be big.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. We got a couple more. I know you said you
I could go
stay
for a
up
little
now.
bit longer. Yeah.
All right, we'll
Yeah, we
we'll
can
do
look at
these.
these. Yep.
Yeah, I'll do these. Let's see what we got here. Okay, we got 2 pictures in this one. We got what's this? The top and the bottom, the front and the back. What's going on here? 2 separate
I think
racks.
it's 2 different racks.
Yeah, it's 2 different racks. Okay, so rack number 1 looks like we got networking at the top, a Silverstone. Let's see, what are these?
It's some Synology NAS there.
And you tweet out this stuff, and people come running with the Unify stuff. That's for sure.
Yeah, when I was
That's,
doing the home lab stuff, I was telling you last night, and when I would say, like, send me pictures of your racks and we're going to do a contest and I'm going to do a giveaway, I would get like 300 to 500 submissions in that week. It's like, how am I ever going to go through all of this? So I had to
Yeah.
stop it and then just kind of split them up into different episodes.
Yeah. No, it's the first time I did that because I'd seen so many YouTubers do like, hey, we're going to review your setups. And I was like, I guess I'll try that. So I like posted something about it, and I got like 100 people. And this was a while ago, like probably 10,000, 15,000 subs ago.
Yep.
And I got so many. I was like, holy crap. You guys
They're fun
really
to
want to
do.
show off your, they
I
are
was
fun to
doing them-
do.
I was trying to do them once a month, and I'm like, you know what? This is too much. I'll do it once every 6 months,
Yeah.
and that's it.
They're definitely fun, but I was shocked at how many people were submitting things.
Oh, for sure.
Is this okay? So this is Jake in the chat submitted it. He says, I'm sorry for my network rack cabling. I'm awaiting an aggregation switch for the network. Hey, don't apologize, dude. We've all been there.
You should see my rack right now. It's not pretty, but I mean, yeah, you got a patch panel up top. You got some sort of cable management, I guess, in between, a
Yeah.
UDM Pro, and then a Gen 1 switch.
What is this?
It's a Gen
Okay,
1
so it doesn't,
Unify USW.
it doesn't have
24.
the fancy. I guess you can
No.
tell because it doesn't have the little.
A lot of the
screen.
Gen 1s, they had issues too when you would, if you had to reset them, the reset pinhole, the little rubber in it would bend to the side, so you had to open up
Oh.
the cases to friggin' reset it. It was terrible.
It's annoying. That's a MikroTik 10 gig, right? Those things are.
Yeah, I have one. I've never opened it up.
I wish they would just make an RJ45 version. I mean,
Yeah.
it's cool
Yeah.
for the SFP Plus. Like it's for the price. I think they're what, like $250
They're
bucks.
cheap.
Yeah,
But
for
you could
4
buy
port 10
almost
gig.
The aggregation piece now.
Flex or a Flex XG.
Yeah, exactly,
It's
and
like
that's
300.
RJ45.
Yeah, so I was surprising because it's like when you think of Unify, you think of like a bit more expensive than other things.
Yeah.
But that Flex XG is such a good deal. Like 4 ports, 10 gig, RJ45, $300.
Oh, it's not
Solid. Yeah, that's Silverstone case. Probably running some type of something in there, some type of custom something. Is this a Synology? I can't tell. That's an off the shelf. Maybe a direct attached. Is this direct attached storage or is this a dedicated? I can't tell.
that it looks like a Synology, but
Let's see. Did he
Can't
say
really
in
tell.
here? I'd be willing to bet it's a direct attached like USB. Oh wait, no. I don't know. It might be direct
it
attached.
looked. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I can't tell. I'm surprised that. So, I put out a video on TerraMaster. They sent me a NAS, and it just basically ripped them on that.
Oh,
And
I
I
think I
got-
saw that.
And I was like, they are never ever going to contact me ever again. And I got an email from them. They're like, hey, do you want to check out our direct attached storage unit? I was like,
Did they watch your video?
Sure. I mean, it's not running the software, so I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
And I got another email. They're like, we saw your video. Thanks for reviewing it. We respect your opinion, and we're going to clarify some of the things. And they listed some of the things I talked about in the video.
Yeah.
And they asked if I could please consider changing the title to something a bit less objective.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'll tweak it a bit because I had updated the title to say it was like, this is bad, TerraMaster. And I was like, okay, like I get it. So I changed it to like, this NAS needs some work or something. I was like, I can't just
Yeah,
change
you can't
it to,
totally change it.
right. So I was like, I get that. Yeah, that's kind of,
Well, it's like when companies reach out to you to do reviews and they're like, we want to watch the video first before you post it. And if anything needs to be changed, it's like, no, that's not how these things go. Like,
No,
you can't
absolutely
pay
not.
me. You can't, well, one, I don't get paid for any of my videos, but
Right.
you couldn't even pay me to say that. If a product's bad, people are buying it. And if a product's bad and I say it's good, people will buy it. And then they'll be like, what the hell? Like, this is terrible garbage. But, and you have to be authentic to, I use all Ubiquiti, and I'll say when stuff is bad. A lot of the stuff I think is good, so it's going to come across. I mean, I'm a Ubiquiti fanboy, whatever. I get it. People know that. But you need to be clear. Like, if TerraMaster's really, I think they reached out to me too. I said no. It's just like, I'm not in that. You guys do more than that stuff. Somebody did ask a question though. It was Mark. Is it Canada Computers or Memory Express? It's Canada Computers.
For what?
Just for a computer store up here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we only got Canada Computers. We don't get what's that other big box that everybody goes to?
Micro Center.
Yeah, we don't. I don't think we have Micro Centers. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Micro Center's pretty dope. I got
Yeah.
one in Houston. It's nice. But yeah, it was
Now we're
okay. So
back.
it's not direct attached storage. So this is
Okay.
the other rack. We have two Silverstones.
We got an aggregation switch at the back. It looks like.
Let's see. How do I? Here's tabs. Do this again. Cloud router switch, MikroTik. Okay. So, and then we have another unified. This is a SFP
Yeah.
switch.
That's the full. That's the one I have in my rack.
Okay, so he's running a lot of fiber.
Yeah.
I don't run enough
cable.
to warrant it going with
Is
the
this for
dedicated.
business? Maybe.
Oh,
You
maybe
see a
so.
lot of MikroTik stuff in like wireless ISPs. I don't know if that's what it's for, but
We have two identical Silverstone cases for you. Make solid stuff. A maybe a JBOD down here. Who knows? Or maybe a dedicated something server. I don't think that's like a branded. I can't tell. I'm not that into
the hardware.
the Dell and
Yeah.
different versions of servers. I haven't been around long enough to know them by just looking at them. The only reason you see MikroTik is because MikroTik is actually pretty cheap.
It is. Yeah.
I've personally never. I think I had a MikroTik switch a while ago, but I haven't used a MikroTik device in so long.
They have a
I'd be-
very steep learning curve. So if you're not into networking like, full on. Their interfaces are a lot different in how you do your VLAN creation and all that. it's kind of complex and a bit confusing. So you're going to be, the money that you're saving, you're not going to be saving it in time if you're not using MikroTik. I mean, it's super powerful gear though. That's why you see it in wireless ISPs all over the world.
I was gonna say I've heard really good things about it. I just personally haven't used it. Like
Yeah.
they maybe they'll reach out to me one day, and I got so many networking things, like so many freaking switches and access points around here that I don't even know if I'd want to do another. I'm kind of burnt out on networking
Yeah,
gear
it gets
at
a
the
little
moment.
much when you're doing. I find the worst videos that I find are doing Wi-Fi access points because it's like everything is so different. Like your house is going to be different than my
Hmm.
house, and then people are like, "Oh, you didn't show this, you didn't show that, you didn't compare, you didn't do this." It's like I don't even want to do this. Like
Yeah.
Ubiquiti just came out with the U6 Plus, I think. I don't know if the long range one is out, but the only difference on that one is it has Wi-Fi 6 on the 2.4 gigahertz where it didn't before. For their old U6 Lite, that's the upgrade to it. And it's like I'm not going to review that. I mean, there's no point.
I don't think I'll ever do just a dedicated access point video ever again. I think I've done a couple, and like they're just so it varies, and they're just it it's almost not even worth it because of how many variables there are with Wi-Fi.
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah.
I could get one reading and you'd be like, hey, I got way better than that. It's like, okay, cool. Your client was probably different. Your house
Oh,
was different. It was
exactly.
probably less interference, like all this types of different things. So it's like, so when TP Link, they're like, hey, can we send you the access point like for the Omada stuff? I'm like, I'm not going to review just an access point. So if you
Yeah.
guys want to send like another switch or something like part of the new hardware you guys have, then
And
I
their
can do just like
new
a,
firewall and do a full build
yeah,
video
that's what
or
I
something
got
like
a,
that.
yeah, I got a 2.5 gig Omada switch, their 3-in-1 like gateway switch controller, and their
Oh, okay.
60 access point, their Chungus boy right here.
Yeah, that thing's mass. Oh, so they gave you
Yes.
a like OC 200 or some
Yeah, I have a
controller.
couple of those,
Yeah.
but yeah, they have like the 3-in-1 now. That's like the controller built into an actual switch.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Slash, yeah, it's the I can't see the model,
Yeah,
the name of it from
they
here.
dislike me now, I feel, but that's probably because you sent that picture last night of their Switch. I said I haven't taken it out of the box. It's been in my closet for months. I'll be
Yeah,
just shipping it back to them. I
yeah.
probably won't do a review on it.
All right. Well, this will be the last one.
Sure. Yeah.
We gotta review my boy Matt Sargent submitted his. And I was gonna say I like the juxtaposition between like the clean like Unify with the fancy like the LED, the screen,
Yep.
and then like the almost industrial feel of the servers like right under it.
Oh, it's
Like
awesome.
that looks cool. I don't have any of these what are these Dell R, are these, God, what are they? Either 7720s or which ones are these? I couldn't even tell you. But these are I like the look of these. I almost want to get one just to put in the rack. Don't even turn it on, just because how cool they look. Just get a broken one for like $50,
Yeah.
and doubling up on the. Oh no, that's a UPS with an extended battery. Because I have this exact trip light UPS, and I just have a second one. Might add an extended battery.
I just use a cyber power. I don't really care if my stuff stays online. I just don't want it to blow because if my power goes out, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's not like I have business critical applications here.
Well, that's me. Like I run stuff. I kind of like expose some like websites and stuff, but it doesn't. If it goes down, it goes down. It's not like
You're not going to be losing money
it
off
does.
it.
It doesn't matter. The
No.
reason for the UPS is just like if the power flickers or only goes out for like 10 minutes, I don't have to
Oh yeah.
restart everything in my freaking rack,
Oh yeah. Yeah. It would take a
which
while.
is such a pain.
Servers will take a little bit to come up. Your firewall and stuff should be pretty quick. But everything
Okay.
else, you never know.
Okay, so one is a Dell. He clarified it's an R710, and the other one is an R10. So yeah, these
Oh,
just look
nice.
cool. I just like how they look.
It's clean, and he's
It
using
is.
the 6-inch patch cables, but they are the chunky ones. They're not chunky. Those are the standard patch cables. Everybody's now using the
The thin
slim.
ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's personal preference. That it looks clean. It's nice.
yeah, it does look good. What I saw you tweet. You got a lot of traction. Did you ever get a response from I
Oh,
saw Jake tweeted at you
yeah,
from
LTT.
yeah. Did they
Yeah,
ever
so he
take you up
followed
on?
me. I don't know if he followed me. This was a little bit ago. He followed me off something. I forget what it was. But then I was looking at their closet or the video they released. I'm like, oh man, they got to get me in there to clean that. So that's what I
Yeah,
tweeted. And then I think it got traction because Jake saw it off of following me, and then he didn't retweet it, but he commented on it. They never really followed up on it, and I doubt they ever would.
yeah,
Like LTT is, they're massive. The
yeah,
rack actually doesn't look that bad. The front of it looks great, but the
yeah,
back is like
yeah.
it's a
Well,
bit
I
of
think
a
you said
nightmare.
they weren't done like with the routing on that stuff yet.
I think they're
So
close. I think they're pretty much done because they
yeah,
just insulated that whole room. They had another video
yeah. I
of their
saw that.
insulation. I don't think
Yeah,
they're doing anymore.
yeah. Why not? But
Yeah,
are you going to LTX?
I don't know. I don't. Where is it? Have they even?
Vancouver.
Oh, so it's. I've never been to BC. Maybe. I've never even like. Have they? Have they? I don't think they have a date for it yet. Do they?
Yeah, it's in end of July. It's coming up.
Really? I was looking at the
Yeah.
site the other day. Probably not because I'm away in Jamaica.
Oh,
I think.
okay.
Yeah.
I have a ticket, but I don't think I'm going. It's
No.
just I got too much going on right now, and
Yeah.
freaking traveling to Vancouver's so expensive.
Oh
I
yeah.
think for
Well,
just
even
like the
from
three
where I am,
days,
it's nuts.
yeah, yeah, just the 3 days, it was going to be just over 2 grand
Oh
for
my god.
just just the travel.
Yep.
Like that's just plane and hotel. And that doesn't include like doing anything else while I'm there. So I was like,
Well, and
eh,
Vancouver's like one of the most expensive places in
yeah,
Canada to go. So
yeah.
like
So
from here, it would probably be about $1,000, maybe a bit more to fly, and then you got your
yeah.
hotels. You got your. Yeah, I'm not doing that. It's too much money.
Yeah, I bought a ticket and I was thinking about going, but yeah, a new baby, the cost.
Yeah.
Next year, I fully plan on doing it because like this is the first year that I've actually like made decent money from YouTube, like enough to pay for all the stupid shit I do,
Yep.
plus a bit more. So I'm hoping by next year I'll have just enough to just be able to say, well, whatever, I can go to
Oh yeah.
Vancouver for this.
I
Like,
would like to do it. I'd like to go to some events. I'd like to do. I'd love Ubiquity to put on an event. I think they're actually a sponsor of that. I'm not 100% sure, but um, it would be fun to go meet people. I think it would be really cool. I'm more introverted, so going out to
yeah,
something like that might be a little odd, but I think I should travel. We're just going to so many. We have like 3 or 4 trips planned this year.
yeah,
I probably won't want to pay for that.
yeah. No, yeah, I agree. It'll be fun, and I'm kind of the same way. I'm both extroverted and introverted. Like if I'm in a group that like I feel comfortable in, I'm extremely extroverted.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like if I'm in a situation where like I don't really know the people, I'm not comfortable, I just like completely shut down. Like I
Oh
just
yeah.
won't talk to
Exactly.
anybody.
I hate crowds. I mean,
Yeah,
that's another thing, but I think I would get past it because it's just a bunch of nerds hanging out in a convention hall or wherever they're doing it. I think
yep.
it would be a fun experience. Seeing
No,
as
it
I've never been
definitely,
to Vancouver either, if they
yeah, it
do
would
it
be
there again
fun.
next year, I think it would be a great reason to go out and check it out for a couple days.
Yeah, no, there's quite a crew going. I know Jeff Gearling's going. I know Wendell's going. Jeff from Craft Computing's going.
Oh yeah.
Um, who else? I saw quite a few people are going. Looks
Hmm.
like it'll be a crew, but yeah, maybe me. Definitely next year. I haven't completely written it off this year, but I'm like 90% sure
Sure.
I'm
Yeah.
not going. So
Yeah. I thought it didn't even have a time date, so I'm like, oh, maybe I'll think about it. But end of July is no good. I'm out of Canada.
I'm pretty sure it's the end of July. So
I must have
yeah,
clicked on something wrong.
yeah. Oh well, next year then.
Yeah, exactly. I'd like to do some other things. I mean, you see Tom, he's going to like all these MSP. Not that I'm an MSP, but all these different events. But it has to be like something that I'm super interested in, and like I'm not going to go to an MSP event and I'm not an MSP. It would be cool to see some of the tools they use, but other than that, I could
Yeah,
care less. Like the threat hunting tools and seeing Tom talk, or I don't know if Wendell went to that one. That would be awesome. I'd love to do that, but yeah, next year I'll
I,
pick some
I
events.
I would just feel like some of those, like I'd feel so out of place because I'm just like a home lab tech dude. I'm not like an expert on anything. So
Yeah.
I'd feel almost like out of place going to something like that.
Well, and
But
it's like when you don't know something, like that's when I'd feel out of place. Like the network security stuff. Like I do some network security, but I'm not Huntress Labs or like
yeah,
ethical hacker, whatever you call it. So
yeah,
I'd probably feel out of place too. I think the Linus thing would be a lot better though. It would be a lot different than one of those type of shows.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it won't. But
yeah, never
um,
know.
yeah, I don't want to keep you too long. If you, I know you're an early to bed.
Yeah,
You're like way past your bedtime
yeah. I
here.
got a client I got to go to fairly early to troubleshoot some stuff tomorrow, so I probably should head out of here. But thanks for having
Okay.
me on. It was excellent.
No,
Yeah, I'll have to
absolutely.
do it again sometime.
Um, yeah, I'm trying to get more tech creators on here, and I'm certainly open to having you on again if you want to do this again.
Yeah, I'd
Certainly
love to.
down.
Yeah.
I know there's no shortage of nerds out there willing to share their home lab gear with us, so
Oh,
we
absolutely.
can
We just have
definitely
to put it out like before 24 hours or something like
yeah,
that. And
yeah, get
once I
a
put it on Instagram, that's when it kind of explodes more than anything. But yeah, no, I
yeah.
appreciate everybody coming by, and it was definitely fun to do.
Yeah, thanks to everybody in the chat. Thank you so much, Cody, for
Yep,
joining. And VOD will be on the channel. Go check out Mac Telecom Networks. I'm sure all you guys here know that, but if you're watching the VOD, you don't know, link down in the description below. But
perfect.
that's going to be all for us. Appreciate it. Thank you, Cody. Thanks,
Yeah, no
everyone.
problem.
And I will see you guys next time.
All right, take care, guys. See ya.
Later.